The project coordinator role and others like it are a great entry point into the world of project management. But how do you make the project coordinator role an effective one? Project coordinators support their project managers in constructing plans, coordinating resources, monitoring progress, reporting, and communicating with stakeholders. They help keep projects on schedule, to budget, and delivering to scope and quality requirements. And of course, by supporting the project manager, they help the project manager to work more effectively and more efficiently. There are a wide range of interpretations of the project coordinator role across different industries, different sectors, different geographies and regions, and, let's face it, in every different organisation which uses project coordinators in one way or another. And equally, there are a lot of adjacent job titles which have huge overlaps, so that we might find a project coordinator role being described as, for example, a project administrator, a project controller, a project officer, or simply project support staff. I know of no clear distinction between any of these terms, and therefore I have chosen the term project coordinator because, in my experience, it is the most common. But of course, in your geography, in your sector, other terms may be equally or more common. So, don't be seduced into trying to interpret the terminology too rigidly. Each organisation may have very different requirements of the job role that is in place. What really matters is the job description, and to an extent the person specification that goes with it. What matters is the substance of the thing, and not the label or the description. So, since it is so difficult to answer the question, what do they do, in a definitive way, instead I'm going to answer a different question. How can they do it in an effective way? I'll divide my answer into 3 sections: technical project skills and capabilities, other relevant capabilities, and attitudes. You might notice that it's the list of attitudes that's the longest. Let's start with technical skills, because to be effective as a project controller, you're going to need a number of technical project skills. And of course, the first of them is scheduling. You need to be able to work with your project manager and with the workstream leaders to build a project schedule. You need to be able to understand things like dependencies and to use the tools that are in place within your organisation to support project scheduling. Equally, you also need to be able to do budgeting, which means you need a good understanding of finance and the use of simple tools like spreadsheets and perhaps more complex tools like the organisation's finance systems. Linked to this, of course, is the likely need that you'll be involved in creating a business case, which might also mean you need to understand financial evaluation tools like discounted cash flows, as well as the simpler tools like return on investment. You'll need to be adept at data gathering and data analysis, and of course, presenting the data too. And another skill I think you're really going to need is risk management. Often, project managers will delegate a large part of the risk management process to their project controller. At the start of your career, this may simply be filling out and maintaining the risk register, but increasingly, you may be called upon to facilitate aspects of the risk management process. And finally, I'd highlight project monitoring and measurement. A big part of your role will be preparing and presenting project reporting information, but that all starts with understanding how to monitor and gather that information, and consequently take a proactive role in supporting the project manager in controlling the project. There are many additional capabilities you'll need. We can think of these as generic business or management capabilities, but all of them are going to be relevant to your role as a project coordinator. Of course, I've already mentioned this to a degree, but in the wider sense, you need to be comfortable with data collection, data analysis, data summary, data presentation. The role of project coordinator or project controller is going to be very data heavy. Next, you'll need to be comfortable with a wide range of software. Particular importance is the analysis software you use, the office software that's in place in the organization where you're working, and of course, the project management software tools that you use on your projects. You'll need good note-taking, organizational and administrative skills, of course, and you'll need good financial skills. You need to be highly numerate to do this job. Of course, along with your organizational skills, you'll need to be able to organize yourself, so personal productivity and time management will be high on the shopping list of skills to develop. One of the other things that we'll expect you to do as a project coordinator is work with some of the suppliers to the project, whether they're supplying contractors or consultants, people, or whether they're supplying things, materials or equipment. So you'll need to have a decent understanding of the processes of procurement and contract management. You'll need good people skills and of course good communication skills, both oral and written. You'll need to be able to prepare presentations that are convincing and influential and also present them as well. And along with influencing skills, you'll probably need some good negotiation skills and maybe some good conflict management abilities as well. And finally, you may well be called upon to use your communication and people skills to facilitate meetings and workshops. So get on top of your facilitation skills. All of this is a big shopping list, but don't worry, we have you covered. There are loads of videos on this channel covering many of these skills, and even more on our sister channel, Management Courses, which go into much greater detail in many of these topics. I'll put a load of links in the description. But as I suggested earlier, perhaps the longest list of things you'll need to develop to deliver the project coordinator role effectively is the right set of attitudes. Now, there isn't any particular right attitude. You must have this, you must not have that. But there are a lot of attitudes that will serve you well. So think carefully about how you show up to work. But here are the attitudes to consider developing in yourself. A willingness, an eagerness, and a determination to work, a can-do attitude. Focus and organization. The ability to listen and reflect on what you're hearing rather than a need to contribute all the time. A willingness to work through repetitive tasks and an attention to detail when you do so. You need to be diligent, resilient against setbacks, and reliable, particularly under pressure. You need to be able to work collaboratively and be willing to innovate and to learn and try new things. This means having a growth mindset, the sense that there is always more to learn, and when you learn it, you become better. And of course, this also means a willingness to embrace new idea and new technology and new processes and ways of working. Finally, you need to be consistent in the way that you work and the way that you treat people. You need to be fair with the teams that you serve, and above all, you need to be determined to show integrity at all times. Please do give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it or learned from it. I'll be making loads more great project management videos for you, so please do subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of them. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and in the meantime, keep learning.